Hey, Kamie, a challenging week, starting with Santa Clara on Thursday. They've been pretty tough at home. Tell me, what do you see there?
Yeah, I mean, um, just a confident team. They spread you out, not real complicated in what they do. They just have everybody on the floor can pretty much shoot it, and they're good enough drivers and crafty off the bounce and create a lot of traffic at the rim and shots at the rim and get you messed up and you suck in and try to help and all of a sudden they're giving them threes and they just shot the ball so incredible against us the first time we played them. I mean,
Hmm.
16 threes and a lot of them were really pretty contested and we've watched since and they haven't quite made shots like that again, but it seems like that's just been our kind of year where people really have made shots against us. So we got to guard the three. We got to figure out some ways to slow them down a little bit. I don't think we can count on, getting to 80 and 85 every game, but they're good at putting points on the board.
Now, are you guys chartering or commercial flight?
We are going to charter back from Santa Clara. We're going to commercial out and charter back just because of that turnaround with Gonzaga.
Yeah, crazy turnaround. Well, and then Saturday, what sort of challenge does Gonzaga present?
They're just so disciplined. They're so disciplined. I would say we're on the extreme of no discipline whatsoever, and they're on the other end of it where they get exactly what they want in every possession. They're a lot like Oregon State. They it's not super complicated what they do. They don't have a million plays. They just are so good at what they do. Uh, they use their posts so well. Their posts just work like crazy and get deep position. Then you have to help, and then you open up situations for, threes on the other side. They have personnel that can just shoot the lights off the ball and so just a hard team and then great on the boards and great defensively. I mean, just a really hard team to match up against and compete with.
What do you think of Lauren Whitaker and what kind of challenge does she present?
Yeah, I mean, she's just a big, strong kid that creates a hole and creates you know, a problem for players that don't want to be active and guard her. And yet even in that, like they're great at passing the ball. And if you take something away, she's going to seal you and she's going to get you something on the backside. So she's just a hard matchup, but that's no different than they've always been. They've always had those post players that can create, really big holes inside. And if you're guarding them one on one, then you're probably going to get in foul trouble because she gets to the line so much and, creates contact so well. um, you help a lot, then all of a sudden Turner's getting threes and she can light it up pretty quick. So just a hard matchup. You got to really lock in and know how you want to play, their personnel and you can't make mistakes against them. They make you pay.
Evaluate where your team is at right now.
We're just the opposite. We don't make people pay when they make mistakes. I think sometimes that we beat ourselves in so many situations. We're playing good basketball, we do some good things, and then just turnovers might hurt us, rebounds might hurt us. A lot of the things that are just the discipline parts of things that we can control. I mean, I'm not even talking about making a shot, even though I think there's, bunnies and little shots at the rim that we have to be tougher with and finish. But the things that you can really control, running the floor and trans D and talking to each other and knowing personnel better on a scout, all of those things are so in your control. It doesn't take anything except concentration and focus and making sure you're in the right spot at the right time. And we do a lot of good things, and then we don't follow through on a lot of good things. So we're still a work in progress. I mean, I think we're capable of still competing with anyone in the league, but we have to find some more consistency across the board with, a good number of our players, not just one or two at a time.
Okay. Thanks, Kamie.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Greg. And then we got a couple of questions sent in from Jamie Vinnick with Coug Fan. First, looking back at the previous matchup with Santa Clara a few weeks ago, what adjustments can be made to maintain what we did offensively without giving up 90 plus points?
Well, I mean, again, we watched all our offensive possessions today. Um, um, all of their offensive possessions, so, and you could just see, okay, Jones got that three off and we were pretty much there, but she got that three off. So that should have been you know, everybody needs to be aware and let's not let that happen again. And then someone else is on her and they give it up. And then someone else is on her and they give it up. And so she's 6 of 13, like, and they're all pretty contested, but after one, okay, after two, for sure, so it's just that now she's better than just a 3-point shooter. I mean, she can put it on the floor and create scoring punch inside too, but you know, you just can't let really, really good shooters sit in their rhythm and take shots with standstill shots, which a lot of them were. So same thing, you know, they've got players that our 5 has to match up with. That makes it hard for our 5. They've got to get out and contest, but they're still pretty long and can put it on the floor. So I would just say the biggest thing is we can't give up 90 points. We can't give up that 16 threes. We have to trans defense better. I thought we made some mistakes in trans defense, which led to easy baskets for them. And again, they make you pay if you make a mistake. And we've got to be pretty sure that we're not going to make that many mistakes on defense.
And then looking ahead to Saturday, we talked a little bit about Gonzaga with Yvonne having graduated, and we talked about Lauren Whitaker a little bit. But what is Lauren what challenges does she represent, and what approach maybe guarding a player that versatile?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a great challenge for our bigs. You know, we do have some fouls to give, so I do think we have different kind of people that can play her. But she draws a ton of fouls. So, you know, if you're not active and if you're not in it for the entire possession, you will get pinned and you will get sealed and she will get an easy basket and she probably will put you in the basket with the ball and get to the foul line. So, just a tremendous physical presence, has range. So you have to get out and guard her from the 3. Really hard matchup for anybody. You know, they can score. So we've got to, you know, whatever we do on the defensive end, we got to put some points on the board too, because they will score the basketball because they're really talented, you know, across their team.
And then final question here, Tahara Mugasa, now with the team here in the winter and into the spring. What's kind of her status for the year, and what kind of player maybe do we expect to see her in the future?
Well, I just think she's a long way from being ready, you know, had knee surgery, so had to have it in France, and it's probably delayed her, not as good a rehab situation for her this last semester. So she's a long way away from hitting the court. She's just going to be progressing back from an ACL and getting in shape and adding strength and things like that. So you're not going to see her other than being on a bike and start seeing her in our practice as we get further down the line. But, you know, long presence, we think can really develop into an athletic post player, gives us more size in the future. Obviously, we're looking at her replacing someone like Alex in another year. So, so anxious to get her a little bit further along so we can see what she can become.
Great. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks. Go Cougs.